What is up, YouTube? Welcome to another freaking video on high altitude investing. In today's video, I'm going to be talking about a huge bullish triangle that I'm seeing in Bitcoin and a potential for us going into the new year. By the way, tomorrow is Christmas Eve, so for anybody that celebrates Christmas, shout out to you guys. I personally live here in America, and so I have been celebrating Christmas most of my life. But either way, whatever holidays that you guys celebrate, enjoy your time with your family, enjoy those holidays, and just really enjoy this time of year, you guys. I appreciate everybody that's been following me along my journey. It's been multiple years now. I know a lot of people comment and they're like, hey, I've been following you for like 2 years. I've been following you for a year, two, I've been doing this since 2016, and it will be 2020 next year, which is blowing my mind. Either way, let's get right in the video, you guys. It's going to be all about Bitcoin and the bullish triangle that I'm seeing. So without further ado, let's get into this. All right, so I'm on tradingview.com and I have the Bitfinex chart pulled up. Firstly, I'm zoomed clear out into the 8-day candlesticks. You could use the 1 week, you could use the 5-day, you could use the 3-day. Personally, I'm using the 8-day in this specific scenario for the wicks mainly, so that I can see the wicks a little bit better. And you guys, look at this pattern that I've started to notice playing out in Bitcoin. We have our first major low right here for the triangle at around $800. And this was in early 2017 when we were at these prices. And then we have our first rejection at the peak of the triangle at around $20,000. And then we have our first support floor of the triangle around 3,200. And then we have another resistance level of the triangle around 14,000, just below. And it's looking like we could find support near the 618 or the 786. So this is between about $6,700 and $5,200 per coin, $5,400. It's kind of a big, well, it's not super big. It's actually a pretty small range, but a couple $1,000 range right here that I see a potential for us to make the other part of this triangle. Now, for this triangle to be completely valid, we do need to actually see prices fall onto this level and bounce. For anybody that is in my VIP group, shout out to all of my VIPs that have been following me along my journey, because you guys are the people that actually usually take a lot of time to learn the technical analysis. So I really love you guys for learning this stuff and being open-minded enough to see technical analysis for what it is. I know a lot of people disagree with what technical analysis is, but really they just do not understand how to use it properly, because technical analysis is how all of the top stock traders, top forex traders, penny stock traders, that's how they make their money. They don't just trade purely based on news or purely based on fundamentals. Usually they trade purely based on technical analysis, sometimes technical analysis with a combination of fundamentals. Either way, you guys, for my VIP group, I have been talking about this. To confirm the triangle pattern, we need to bounce off of this low, or bounce off the low that we're seeing right now, and come up to a resistance level, come back down a little bit, and have a breakout. You can actually map this out by coming over to the triangle pattern tool on TradingView, and you'll see a big A, B, C, D. And those are the different waves in the triangle, which I really like the triangle function on TradingView. It's pretty awesome. This could be explosive for us, especially in 2020. If we really get up towards this resistance and break above that resistance, that's going to mean bright future for 2021 and our prices ahead. Now, what I really, really want you guys to remember is how possible it is for different scenarios to happen. The reason I want you to know this isn't because I want you to be fearful of the markets potentially crashing, or if you have huge short positions, I don't want you to be fearful of the market potentially rising. I want you to be educated and aware. Education and awareness are some of the most powerful things you can use in your life. And of course, a lot of things that apply to being a good person in your life, being somebody that knows how to learn how to, or can figure out how to play the piano, figure out how to play the guitar, figure out how to be disciplined enough to learn something that's difficult to do and master a skill. Usually those things, once you master one skill, you can apply it to multiple different skills. And with Bitcoin and crypto and with music, awareness and understanding is good, because one of the things that I learned with music very quickly is that you make a lot of mistakes. And I've performed in front of hundreds of people with my guitar. I've performed in front of, well, actually on my YouTube channel, I've performed in front of thousands of people on my guitar, but in stadiums and for different little competition things growing up. My mom used to teach piano, so I'd play in her piano concerts. And sometimes, you know, I'd get up there and I would mess up. It would be embarrassing. And I'd be like, man, that stings a little bit. But it's awareness of the fact that those mistakes actually are what help you grow. And the same thing with Bitcoin going different directions and the potentials for different directions. So I'll get into that in a second. One more story for you. This goes along with it. Not being prepared. When I was younger, I took voice lessons because I sing too. And I remember I was taking voice lessons and everybody else was preparing for their voice lessons. I was going to the weekly meetups where I would sing along with everybody else, but when I got home, I was not practicing. I wasn't being prepared. I wasn't applying what I was learning. I was just showing up and not really taking it very seriously. Now, my voice teacher had a concert and I still remember to this day. I go to the voice concert. I get there. There's this really cute girl there. She starts talking to me before the concert. I'm like, wow, I'm super cool. I got a cute girl talking to me. My ego gets super inflated. And then I get up on stage like 10 minutes later for my song. And I go to sing. And she's just over there playing the piano. She's playing the same intro over and over and over and over, and I'm just sitting in front of like at least 100 people. I don't know how many people there were, and I just can't remember a single word of the lyrics for the song that I was supposed to sing. And hands down, one of the most embarrassing moments of my life. I remember looking over at that girl. She was still cool. She still came up and talked to me afterwards, and we were friends and stuff after that, and kind of talked a little while. But I just remember feeling so embarrassed and feeling like, man, this girl is watching me right now being such an idiot. I thought I was being so cool. So be prepared, you guys. That's the moral of the story. And one of the things that you can do to be prepared in Bitcoin is understand that, first of all, you're going to make mistakes. And second of all, there's different directions, different pathways, different ideas that this can go. So really my channel is a trading journal. I map out these different potentials, and then whatever one it's looking the most like, we go ahead and use that as our primary prediction, that we bet the most money on, set our risk to reward ratios, have our risk management in place, and see what happens. And that's kind of how you stay profitable in the markets. Nobody's perfect at it. I'm not perfect at this either, but I've gotten a lot better over the years. So let's talk about some different potentials that could happen with Bitcoin here. I'm going to go ahead and duplicate our Bitcoin chart, and we'll go into that. So this is, again, primary prediction for Bitcoin. This kind of goes along with the other videos that I've made about Bitcoin recently and how I see it having the potential of having a reversal pattern here and going up on the upside. And even getting above all-time highs in the future, because the minimum target for the 3-wave is actually above 20,000 per coin. And then we have our alternative prediction. Now this is possible, you guys, and this is why I bring it up. Bitcoin could just fall off the cliff, you know. Everything is possible in markets. Right now, it looks like on the log chart, looks like a bullish flag pattern. On the linear chart, looks like a falling wedge. So everything is still bullish. But an alternative I want you guys to be aware of is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And some people might not like to hear this. Go find somebody else to watch. You know, I really don't care. This is all about actually being realistic, being honest, and being truthful about different things that could happen in Bitcoin so that you guys know what to do if we start to see that. So really what could happen is, as a secondary prediction, if support starts to fail in the market and you actually get a support failure of our major support level that we formed in the A wave, that would be a failure of this wave. So instead of this being a 1 and a 2 wave right here, where we go in for a 3 wave after that on the upside, this would be a big A and a B wave, and we're getting ready for a C wave back down to these major support levels of $1,000 per coin. Now, again, this is not my primary prediction, but this is something that you guys need to be aware of. Something that if we start to get down to this lower support level and we're just not seeing any strength in the bulls, probably means there isn't enough demand in the market to drive up the prices currently. Now, at the bottom of an ABC correction provides the biggest buying opportunity that you get in the market. It gives you the most profit. So if Bitcoin does this, honestly, you guys, it gives us more time to buy cheaper Bitcoins before another market cycle takes place. But I just wanted to make you guys aware of that outcome so that you're not like me, unprepared in front of a whole bunch of people as this person just sits and plays the piano over and over and over when I'm supposed to be singing my song. You know, just be aware of different outcomes. This, though, is primary. This is secondary. And I do also want to point out that the reason that I see this as less likely, well, there's a lot of different reasons, but one of the reasons that I see this as less likely currently is because of the fact that this has a very, very early pattern. If you zoom out all the way into like the monthly candlesticks and you're zooming out, this actually looks like something that just barely started. Like, this is all like the first little wave in a market before it goes in for huge, huge long-term growth curves. And we can see this. I don't know if I'll be able to pull up the exact version of the S&P 500 that I'm looking for. All right, there's one that goes all the way back into the 1800s, and it shows us a little bit better. But Bitcoin to me kind of looks like this, where it's earlier on in its cycle. It hasn't painted as much, as long of a chart pattern as something like the S&P 500, and still has a lot of long-term growth for it. I wish I could have the S&P 500 pull up in the one that I normally use, because there's a version of the S&P 500 that goes all the way back to the 1800s. This might be it. Okay, here we go. Yeah, here we are. I knew it. There's always a way, you guys. Just keep looking and you'll find. All right, so this right here, this is kind of how I see Bitcoin. All of this. And for people that are like, well, why would you invest in Bitcoin? It drops like 80% in market value. Come over to the S&P 500, go into the 1930s, and look at the Great Depression, you guys. An 84% drop. That's the exact same percentage that Bitcoin fell in 2018. So the stock market has also seen these types of moves in the past. This is kind of what I see Bitcoin, this kind of growth curve right here where it's just beginning and it's just about to go into its big parabolic long-term growth curve. But, you know, just being aware of these different potentials and being honest about them is more helpful for everybody and more useful. So you guys, this is my primary prediction. Watch this triangle pattern. I think it's freaking awesome. Enjoy the holiday season with your family or whatever you're going to go do. Have some fun and enjoy, if you're doing presents and stuff, enjoy opening those presents up. And I will see you guys in the next videos. As always, stay profitable out there.